welcome everybody to the PCN North Dallas, Texas meetup group.
Oh, ridiculous.
Here's what I get to do. I have the privilege of, I've stood on stage in 30 countries around the world, been translated in over 40 languages. I remember the people I love to introduce. The people that excite me the most are my friends. My friends who absolutely know how to knock it out of the park make me even more excited. The thing that I love about our speaker today, Jena Apgar, is because she has this ability. Well, her background is an amazing mom. And a mom, you've got to find resources. But she also spent time in the military, uncovering secret information, determining how best to keep that information protected, but able to distribute it in such a way that it never lost its authenticity. What she's been able to do is carry that over into the social media world. She's been able to carry that over to help you unlock the secrets of success so that your story, the secret called you, can be allowed to be shared and be allowed to be given to the rest of the world. How many of you would like your secret told to the rest of the world?
Yeah!
Let's welcome our speaker, Jena Apgar.
All right.
Maybe there's a reason I like Sean, and now I'm just wondering if I can hire him to like follow around me and like introduce me before I walk into every room.
Good idea.
Jeez. I think now we know why he was the MC, right?
Yes.
For 1,000 people. Got Eric coming in. I didn't really have anything planned. I was not positive I was going on vacation last week because of other household circumstances. But we did fly into London, go off to Brussels, Oslo, Norway. And Brussels Airlines is not quite the same as American Airlines. They kind of kept my luggage in Heathrow and it never made it on the plane. I got clothes, no computer, no internet. Like not just no internet, but no devices. Like if you think no internet is hard, try no devices whatsoever. And at one point I just looked at my husband's phone and I was like, you know what? I'm glad we have yours, right? Because that's what we were navigating with. You have to get internet in the other country. That's super fun. Netflix doesn't work in your HBO services. Do not work in other countries. You have to buy them again. All over. And in fact, you can't even buy them unless you have a residence in the country. So you can't even do that.
Oh, God.
Super fun. So definitely have honed my vision challenge a little bit more of things. I did lose 2 clients who couldn't handle not communicating with me for 1 whole week without a response when they're used to getting me within a day. So we'll be honing my client avatar. We did start the 90-day Double My Business Challenge with 5 students. One, I don't even know who it is. I should reach out and maybe just flat out call that individual. But I didn't really have anything planned today until this morning. And we were working on Rayanne's site in Kartra. And one of the things that came up is she will end up becoming more of a publisher. She'll have her membership site. She'll still be doing some of the stuff she does. But ultimately, one of the things that her goal is to build up are her blog posts. So not just business for business, but actual publisher, with the reason being when you have a great set of posts, you can sell them. The idea is to build a business that can be sold. Anybody have a business that would not work without them? Most of you? That's not of hands. How many of you can actually sell your business to another person?
I think I
Maybe?
could. Yeah. Without a blog, you mean?
Huh?
Without blogs, you mean?
No, it's not just not blogs. I mean, can you actually sell it to another person?
Yeah,
Or is it completely built on your face and your ability to go do the work? So the goal with her is to build something that she can sell. So it's not just worrying about how she passes away, but how do you pass your business away and how is it a true asset? One of the things that came up, though, is the concept of PLR work. Anybody ever heard of PLR? I feel like Sean should be raising his hand back there.
Yeah.
What is it? I couldn't...
PLR? I don't even know what it stands for.
Launch something?
No. I don't even know what it stands for. I should look that up. I just know it's PLR. Something license rights.
Public licensing resources?
Something like that. Anyways, the concept is how many of you guys email your audience once a week?
Thank goodness,
Eric in the back is like, yeah, I'm working on it. How do you keep in touch with your potential clients and your clients? I would be, if you have a book of business, it's almost impossible for a single business owner or a small operation to reach out and communicate with their clients one-on-one every single week and have those individual touch points, right? That is the private label rights. The concept is, though, that if you do, they remember you.
Top of mind.
Top of mind awareness is critical. The food industry knows it really well. My stomach growls, I get hungry, where do I want to go eat? What do I remember? This is why McDonald's and Domino's and all these fast food restaurants, they are willing to spend multi-millions to still advertise on TV, and I don't even know who watches TV anymore. Cable TV viewers? If I take out football and sports, it really narrows the audience. But they're willing to put that on there because just the mere thing of a falling almond on a TV makes you want to eat almonds. And if you are top of mind for the almond trade, you're going to go buy the almonds. This is how McDonald's sells more fries. This is how Coca-Cola, it's why Coca-Cola, we all know Coca-Cola exists, right? But why do they keep advertising? To stay top of mind.
Wash our brain with those bubbles.
It's to the point, everyone used to unanimously drink Coca-Cola. It used to be like the only brand on the planet for soda. They're like, why should we keep advertising? Everybody knows who we are. We don't have to expand the market anymore. Why keep advertising? So they pretty much stopped. Enter Dr. Pepper, RC Cola, and all the other brands. And then Coca-Cola realized, yeah, we should probably, we're losing a little market share. Let's get back in the game. So the top of mind awareness is really critical in your business. How many people know more than 10 realtors? Right? 10 financial advisors. Right? How many people need to buy insurance every day? No, you don't. How many people need a new financial advisor every day? They don't. How are they going to remember you exist? They just don't need you every day. You sell equipment that is specific to somebody who needs special needs, right? They need a special doorknob, which is funny because my husband was just complaining about the doorknobs. They're easier to latch ones. It keeps on catching on our clothes, and he's like cursing at them. I'm like, baby, but they're universal. But when you hit, like whether you get hurt or you get sick or you're just getting older, you cannot use everything the same way. You might even need to have your entire kitchen lowered all of a sudden. Who the world? How are you going to remember? She said something one time in a networking meeting 7 years ago. How are you going to remember that? How are you going to help them remember you, right? You do that by communicating with your clients and, as Sean would say, telling your freaking stories. How do you do that? Social media is helpful if they're following you. Email is great if they're subscribed to you. But even then, I was talking to Ms. Dagmar.
Yes.
Are you going to write regular emails?
Probably not.
Hopefully, yeah, sure, I can do once a week. I write one email a week, and it's hard. I'm a perfectionist, but how do you write the content? How do you post blog content? Now, traditionally, in the past, blog content has served the purpose of search engine optimization. People are going to find you on Google organically, but it is also a means of something. What do you email out? You get a list, you build a list because everyone's told you the money's in the list. You go out and get leads because somebody told you that's how you make money. For the ones that were there yesterday, that was the first thing. You need more leads. But once you have leads, how do you keep communicating them? Because if you only send them one email every 6 months, and it's because you have a new event or something to sell them, they're going to unsubscribe because they're like, I don't remember who this person is. So you have to email them. What do you email them? You're like, I don't know. You're sitting there like at the computer going, what do I type? I'd like to sell them something, but no, they said add value. Be engaging, right? What do you write? That's really hard. So Rand's been writing blogs, and it's even with inspiration, it's like pulling teeth. So one of the things that we were looking at, I'm going to go to my computer here, which everything is like super tiny, so give me a minute here. PLR, essential oils. I'm only going to need essential oils because it's the one I looked up this morning. PLR, not see anything. There we go. is the ability that somebody else has already written the content. You can buy it and use it. If you try to buy it yourself and get it super unique, it's either going to be really expensive, it's going to suck, or they're just going to have bought the PLR stuff anyway and maybe edited it a little bit and gave it to you. They probably won't even edit it. They'll just give it to you. So, skip the middleman, skip the big expenses. Don't hire a digital marketer to spend I think I was charging $2,500 for 9 articles. That's a lot. How much would you pay to have 25 articles? How about $10? Is that a number that's like workable? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it going to be
Sounds
this?
like a no-brainer.
It's not going to be the same as custom $2,500 for 9 articles. It's not going to be the same. So I don't want to make that. But that part of that big price was because it was unique. It was good for search engine optimization. Scott and I were discussing this morning. I don't want to say SEO is dead, because it's not. But I have a client, and we looked up, and there are only 50 people in the United States every day looking up the keywords that are critical, that define them as a client every month in the United States. Only 50. Almost 1 billion pages on the internet are competing for that same group of words. 991 million articles. So if you decide to write your 1-page blog,
I'm over here.
it's not going to compete.
Oh my God.
At best, you could get the long tail keyword. I've done that very successfully. It was 7,000 words. Took me a week, and several of those weeks staying up till 4 in the morning. Did it do all right? Sure. Is it converting? Sure. Does anybody else have time to write 1 week all dedicated to a blog article? No. Do you even know how to write a blog article that can compete? No. That's another week just learning how to write that article. The flip side is I've seen blog domains, we'll say that are making $3,000 a month, but they have 400 articles like that. And they can be sold for over 6 figures. Wouldn't that be a nice little retirement? Just sell it off?
It's a couple couples.
Mm-hmm.
You mean us selling our own content?
You selling your whole site
Why would I want to do that?
because you're ready to retire? Because you want to change into something else?
You've given birth to it, it's walking on its own, and you can just hand that child off
What's,
to somebody
wait,
else.
what-
and they pay
what's
you
the
good
alternative
money.
here? You're not going to work forever. You will not live forever. I don't know anybody who's lived forever. I would love to meet them just to chit-chat. I bet they have some killer stories. What happens to your baby that you've spent hours on when you're done with it? You just kill it? Why not create the asset, right, and do something with it? You're not going to write that many blog posts, but that many blog posts, that is the potential with it. And the blog posts are not just about the blog post. In today's age, for the business owners in this room, they are a way to email people. They are a way to post something on a LinkedIn article that gives your name credibility. They are a link in an email that says, hey, I wrote this LinkedIn article. Here I wrote this blog post. Here I did this. Here I did this. Here I posted this on social media. 600 words on a social media post, that's easy. You can even trim it down, make it shorter, turn that same article into a slightly longer blog post, turn it into a shorter version over on LinkedIn that links back to your social media and your blog post, and then you put out an email that says, look what I wrote out. It's all value. I'm not selling anything, but maybe in the article I've put an opt-in in, or maybe I have a little image of the thing I'm selling, right? It's much softer selling. Anybody like being a pushy salesperson? No. Would anybody love to get helpful emails about things they actually care about? Not spam, not constantly being sold to, but things they actually care about. I like getting digital marketers' emails, well, some of them. That boy emails every day. But when they send out their like weekly, monthly one with all their podcasts and their blog posts and their helpful information, those are really helpful blog posts. I'm already fully sucked in. I've already bought it all. But that's how I got sucked in. Really helpful information and emails and blog posts. But you can't write them all yourself. So I'm not going to make any money telling you any of this. I make no affiliate. I don't sell PLR. I'm not going to help you with the PLR. The 90-day business challenge people, I'll help them walk them through how to use it. But it is really, so all I have literally done is type the words PLR space the thing that you need to talk about. So PLR marketing, PLR digital marketing, PLR content marketing, PLR essential oils, PLR pain relief, PLR relationships, child therapy, anything you can think of. There is somebody, possibly in a third world, possibly in Canada, possibly on an Indian reservation, they can live all over the globe, have all different levels of education, that all they do all day with their time is write articles for other people to buy. They don't want to do customization, they just want to do packs. Some include pictures, some include videos. And they range anywhere from $10, $8.95 is the one this morning, and maybe $197 for like a pimped out PLR that's an entire membership site. And all you have to do is move the content into your website, right? You'll get no search engine optimization from it. None, zero, zip. But as I've just explained, you're not going to get that anyway without spending an excessive amount of time or money, right? But what you will get are great content for social media posts, great starter for blogs. Put it up there, add your own stories into it, make it a little unique, add it to LinkedIn posts, Twitter posts, and then turn around and email your leads this great content that you've provided, right? So I've done essential oils because we were looking at that for Rayanne. Why essential oils? One, it does contribute to pain relief. You can use it as a way to glue your skin, and people like it. It smells pretty. It's the more sexy part, right? Everyone likes to do the holistic health. They're like, oh, holistic health. They really like its essential oils and some fun recipes and the simple stuff, right? Not maybe stuff that actually matters. It's great for Amazon affiliate marketing. So when you're looking to make that passive income that has nothing to do with your business and is mailbox money. I don't make a lot with it because I don't concentrate on it. It's like $17 this month. Not too bad. I've gone up to like $100, $200, $300 a month. Anybody like an extra $300 a month for not doing anything but writing some blog articles? I don't know. And it keeps going. That money, I did the work 5 years ago. Did you have a question?
Yes. When you get the content, does it come over, is it editable? Meaning, does it format to your blog? Can you?
Imagine it in a Word document.
Okay, so you can.
So it's not going to be WordPress ready. It's not going to be perfect. It's the equivalent of if you hired a content writer, they write it in Evernote, they write it in WordPress, they write it in a Google Doc,
yeah.
and they're like, here are the words.
Cool.
So you have the words. You might need to strip the formatting because anybody who's ever worked in a Word doc to a WordPress, it's got formatting, copy, paste, matches style. But it's the words, which is the thing that takes all the time.
Okay, I do have a question.
You always have a question.
That's right, because I'm gonna ask Dagmar. How ethical is this to put your name, and I know there are ghostwriters for books even, but is this being in integrity with your audience when you say, I wrote this article and I didn't? Like maybe it's a mindset thing, but I'm having a reaction to it.
Does it bother you when Tony Robbins does it?
I don't follow Tony Robbins.
Does it
Various
bother
reasons.
you when anybody writes a book?
Well,
A lot of the very popular professionals and gurus that have written
yeah,
books.
they have ghostwriters, and I
Yeah.
think that's not ethical. To me,
Well,
it's
here's
like,
the other
you're
thing
not
that-
the author. It wasn't your.
Tell me what you're the author of.
I'm sorry, what?
Tell me what you're the author of. Everything you have is borrowed.
No, everything I write on my
Everything
website.
you have is borrowed. 26 letters in an alphabet. You didn't make them. I didn't make them.
right? I'm just
Well,
saying,
here's
so
the thing.
you put your syntax in it.
Yeah, you do. Here's
Everything
what I would
have
say.
is borrowed, everything I
I
said up there
think
said is borrowed.
The articles are very basic, in my opinion. Because they're not like, if you'll talk to Sean is like, it's all about your story, right? People are not buying blanket information about tea tree oils, right? That's the article you just read, right? But if she goes in there and she puts, this is why it matters to me, here's my story, and here's some stuff I put together, that becomes perfect for her business. When you go in there, they're giving you, the ones that I looked up earlier were like 500 to 700 words, I believe. So it was old, I think it's a little older because that's written by old Google rules. You go in there and it's the idea, it's the base, it's the framework. You can now go in there and spend 30 minutes on it, not 5 hours. Put in your own story, which is going to flow freely, right? It's already given you idea, it sparks the idea. You spend 30 minutes adding a few words here, or this is why this here, or maybe you go and you actually look up the science behind it and you quote an article here. You can spend 30 minutes editing it, adding it to a blog, adding it to LinkedIn. Another 30 minutes writing, I didn't say 30 minutes, if you're good at it, once you've done it a few times, hopping over to Kartra, MailChimp, Constant Contact, whatever you use, and put a quick email out that says, hey, I have an article for you. You don't have to say, I wrote it.
Okay, so one more follow-up on that. There's this thing about plagiarism. So let's say all 4 of us here.
That's why it says it is private. You are buying the license
Yes, I'm
to
asking for something
plagiarize.
different. So the internet, let's say we send out an email and we had the same paragraph because we bought the same article. When I populate it on my website and then Ray Ann puts it on her website, you know, any intelligent software can see that she has exactly the same 5 sentences.
Who's
as
your
I do.
client? Is your client software?
But what I'm saying
Is your client software?
no.
If I'm your client, especially if I'm your client and I'm not choosing who to follow, I'm not going out there and searching everyone and say, oh, is her article like someone else's? No, I'm saying I already follow Dagmar. Dagmar has said this article will be useful to me. I'm going to Dagmar's site because I'm a lead in her email list and I'm reading it there. The only people who use Copyscape are marketers who are buying content and they want to make sure it's Copyscape proof. That's only for SEO. Again, I said this is not for SEO.
And don't some of the PLR contracts say that, you know, here is the article and we're going to ask that you change some of the phrases anyway?
You should.
I mean,
Yeah.
isn't
Should
that part
be
of the
used
agreement
specific.
when we buy the
It
PLR
depends.
packs?
Every
Some of the-
agreement is going to be slightly different.
Yeah, but it's a way to unleash my inner perfectionist and just bitch about, I don't like the way that this is, and let me fix it and update it and spin it into my language. It's simply a business transaction and a place to start.
Yes. So
Well,
let's
I'm not
say
saying I'm opposed to it, it's just my first reaction was, wow,
That was easy.
I don't have to recreate the wheel.
Right?
So here's one that all they do is they show you all the different options out there. So they just, this particular one, all they did was say, here's all the different ones, and they point to other sites that sell them. So this one is PLR. The prices are here too. Let's see if I can get a little bigger.
And are you able to actually see a sample of an article to see if you even like them before you buy them?
Some, but again, like this one's $8.95. For that one, I looked at that one this morning. It has 25 articles for $8.95.
Wow.
Here's another version by the same person. Even essential oils for pets, which, when her and I were in here looking up for keywords, people care more about the holistic health of their pets times 20
Yep.
than they do themselves.
I agree.
Here's an ebook. So anybody who's been in the 90-day Double My Business Challenge, we're not there yet, but they know where I'm going with this. You're going to need a lead magnet. You're going to need something to offer for that lead in the first place. This one is the free ebook. It's already done for you. You add a page on it that has your, here's who I am. You add a page on the back. Here's what I'd like to sell next.
Here's a picture with me and my dog.
Essential oils for dogs. Yay! Spend $120 on them and like $2 on yourself.
Warning.
Right. And these are, I would not even say these are like the big PLR products. These are just articles. Here's one for 17. Let's see what the difference was. I've seen ones that are entire membership sites. 17 more articles. Maybe there's a refresher. Where you can charge $197 and you can have a membership that tells them all about digital marketing. You didn't have to build
How is
anything.
that ethical or being in integrity? I'm sorry, I'm trying to understand it. It's
You're
like-
buying it. Somebody wrote it and you paid for it.
It's kind of like
I will be
if
the, okay, I will say this, so I would never for like Business Growth Network members for the 90-day business challenge, I would never sit there and straight up buy materials. In fact, there's a person who's come to this networking meeting, who came to another networking meeting, who sells a membership site for a significantly more expensive amount than me, and it is all PLR. And he was like, hey Jenna, I want you to look at my site and tell me what you think. I'm charging $5,997 for it because I have, 3 decades or 4 decades of experience, older gentleman. Take a look at it for me. And I went back there and I was like, what the holy curse word, double down curse word is this? Garbage. Because it was filled with like the weirdest things. I was like, if I was an agency owner, if I had been in, I would have, he's got really old ads. And they don't have any consistency in them. Like, it doesn't look like they're his own. All the videos are like these little, man, he's like, oh, I paid lots of money to have like all these custom videos made. I'm like, but they don't have you anywhere. And they don't have any of your branding anywhere. They're just like little gray blobs around. And he's like, but I paid this guy a lot of money to create the membership site for me. I was like, maybe the other person did it. Maybe you paid a whole lot of money for a membership site and they just bought PLR, implemented it and said, here you go, stuck his name on the top bit. That's all he did. And I was like, if I paid $6,000 for that garbage, I'd be pissed off. But it is a good starting point. If you can find a PLR site that is right in line with your beliefs, and you can go in there and say, here, I've already got everything started. Now let me go pull it in, whether it's a blog article, whole membership site, or whatever. Go through and systematically and make sure it aligns with your beliefs, that it aligns with your words, that it uses your language. Now you're just editing, adding your stories, which is the most important part, because some digital marketing, how you use Kartra is the exact same function. This is how you do this. This is how you do this step, this step. That is the same across the board. Whether I write it or somebody else writes it, what does it matter? What makes the difference is, why should you do this first? Here's my story of why you should use Kartra in the first place. Here's why you should send an email every day versus every week versus every month or whenever you decide to sell something. I can see the ethical thing behind it. You are paying somebody to be the ghostwriter. You get to choose the one that aligns with your existing beliefs, your systems, your processes, and you get to edit it all you want. I don't happen to like any of their pictures. I think they all suck. But that's also why I have Design Pickle, where I can say, hey, here's this image, do this to it, add my brand, change this around, change this title, but now I have the idea. Sometimes that is the hardest aspect of your business, is the idea and saving yourself a tremendous amount of time. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
I get where you're going. I get it, but
And I see how this is very applicable to products and even to coaches, but I'll tell you the only reason why I was having a reaction. I've met a coach who bought her membership site content. Her book is ghostwritten. Heck, podcasts are scripted by other people. Everything is done. So I'm thinking, as a consumer, if I came to that coach, who am I buying? I'm buying the copywriter, the ghostwriter. I'm buying the video scripter. I don't know who she is. Or
what
what
did
she
Walmart make themselves? Walmart. What product in
But I'm
Walmart?
talking about coaching.
But that's what I'm
completely
saying. It's
different
not.
business.
But it's not different. That coach is hiring stuff out. She's putting her name on it. I would like to think she aligns with the words that she's chosen. Presidents don't write their own speeches. Trump does.
He writes his own Twitter.
I will.
We
withhold
mock. But no,
comment
take
that.
a. But here's just.
I'm just going to inhale for a minute.
But no, when we look at the presidents that we love to hear speak, almost every single time their speech is scripted. Our favorite speeches by presidents are really the ones in the movies. The Independence Day president nailed it! Right?
Yeah.
Because he had like
Is
great
that what the
copywriters. Right?
Send it as a gift.
When people go off script and they actually speak passionately and they tell their stories, we rip them apart on TV. It can be very difficult. Does anybody in here do a daily podcast? I do. I fuck it up all the time. I slip out a curse word. I spent the first 36 minutes trying to do something I never accomplished and I got locked out of my own account.
Well, you're keeping it real though.
But what if I only did it for once every week, but I bought the script and it was perfect? It'd be perfect. More people might actually watch, like, oh, it's so professional. It is more professional. That is why people hire copywriters to write their sales copy, because it converts more sales. It converts more leads. They've been trained on how to write copy. Even the best copywriters have to start from somewhere. You say, here is my avatar. Here's my before and after. I know you know what that is now.
Yeah.
You're handing them the
We do.
information that is about your business. You're saying, this is who I am. This is what I need. I need to get leads using this lead magnet. I need to sell this workshop. I need you to write the best copy on the planet so that I can serve the most people. If your copy sucks because you're always trying to do it yourself, what does it matter if you have a great business? You don't have anybody to sell to because you didn't sell anything, because you insisted on your version of ethical in writing every word yourself. Was it
I see your
unethical?
point. I see your
Was
point.
it unethical when I and Scott wrote the copy on your website?
Well, you didn't write it. You took my copy and you
No.
tweaked some words.
Bingo! They did write it. So here's what, Doug, the reason I got emotional about this is because when somebody spends time with you, if they get in your wheelhouse, who you are is so powerful. Nobody's worrying about a script. All it is how do we get them to talk to you? Once somebody has a there's nothing you
I'm
can
saying,
ever put in
Sean,
words.
will you want to?
There's nothing.
There's
You,
the wait for the camera.
Wait for the camera.
Right,
Come
right,
on
right.
stage.
yeah.
Say
There's
just-
nothing you could put in words that would ever describe you. I've had a conversation with you. There's not the only way I got to speak to you is because somebody referred me. Wasn't because I read a blog post. It was a testimony. I would encourage you to have I'm not marketer 101. I'm Farm Boy, Ohio. But if you're looking to draw people to you, here's all you want. 30 minutes, normally at $500, I'll give you 30 minutes. That should be your whole thing. Because everything else is they're going to try to compare you to somebody else, and they can't. You're uncomparable.
Oh,
Come on.
I kid you not.
this.
Okay,
Dagmar,
who
I have
doesn't
stood
want
around the
Sean
world.
walking around with them?
Yes.
I've stood around the world, and I know you. I don't know your heart, but I know what your heart is capable of, because you did it with me. With this unlocked success, is that it?
Unlock your success.
Unlock your success. People, they go, I wish I could. But they'll hear that and they'll think to themselves, I can't. I don't care how much you give me, I can't. I don't care how much you tell me you can, I can't. But they spend 5 minutes with you, they're like the whole world opens up.
I feel like we're having the same conversation in reverse with her now.
I love this, Sean. Can you follow me? Besides
But what I'm saying is that here's when I hear your stories, your content, can I do this? Is this okay?
This is fine. It's
Okay.
my office.
I know.
It's my stage.
So, tell me your first name again. Kathy Miller, right? Kathy Muller. How many parents feel they're a burden to their children? And every child wants to take care of their parents in a way they never thought possible. A lot of times that means modification. Parents will never ask for help. What I do is I give children the ability to take care of their parents even when they're not home. We modify for those who are elderly, disabled, or need a way to be able to live their life in peace and harmony. I'm Kathy Muller.
Bam.
It's being recorded. So
You know what I'm saying?
John, can you go on for me too, please?
So, unlock your success? Is
Yes.
that, you know, you can search the internet for hours and find people who will unlock your success. The only way you can unlock your success is that somebody understands the key and the combination that will let you be free and be you. Everything you will read on the internet will tell you how to be like them. I teach you how to be like you.
Oh, I love this.
Who else?
Who else? He's on the roll.
So,
But wait, if you have this message, he's just crafted 2 outstanding stories, 30-second pitches right
Is
here on
that
stage.
PLR, by the way?
But wait, hold on.
I could
It's
use
my
that.
We'll
gift.
type it in. He's just given you the basic message that you need to tell everybody. You have an email service to communicate with everyone in your leads list, right? How do you constantly communicate that story? They're going to get bored if you put that message in every single email. But how can you send them a piece of information they actually want while communicating that message over and over and over and over again? So that. And
this is where I was before we got interrupted. Now I'm back.
I think Facebook just keeps going. We don't
Oh,
care
does
about
it?
your
No, I
comments.
think, okay, maybe. So, Kathy Burkhalter, yes?
Karen,
Karen,
Karen Burkholder.
but you sell insurance.
Yes.
And your focus is now, so the neat thing about you is you can have multiple stories based around insurance that deals with the thing that you're talking about, so end of life. One of the hardest moments for anybody to receive is that when a loved one is gone. Guess what? The planning is too late then. Everything you've talked about for the last 6 months, you knew it was coming, nobody expects it. I'm the person you have to call in that 6 months before, so that when that day happens and it's a tragedy, you have a plan to be able to say, we're glad we did.
Oh, I love this.
Life insurance, PLR articles.
Yeah.
Plan
Okay.
ahead for
$2.99
Oh, I love this.
for 16 articles ranging from 300 to 571 words.
Okay. The Plath store?
Oh, just PLR end of life insurance.
PLRstore.com,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you do PLR life
Just
insurance.
Google.
Yeah.
Just seriously, just Google.
Yeah, because I'm on a different PLR site, so this was like.
But I'm saying,
that's
just
a
Google
different-
the thing that you want. There's no reason for you to sit there and have to recreate the wheel.
Now, I'm
The
going to jump.
story is unique.
I'm going to jump in here because what I do and where you're at, I've had 30 years experience. This is what I do. I'm asked to do this at the blink of an eye. But here's what I'm going to say, and this is meant with love, honor, and respect. I've been in the study of the human brain for 30 years. You are all powerful women, and your brain wants to connect every freaking dot that exists so that you don't make anybody feel bad and that you don't leave anybody out because you've been left out, you've been left behind, and now you're going to go, well, I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. Freaking make them feel uncomfortable.
It's like
Nobody wants to hire you because they're in freedom.
If you're not pissing some of the people off part of the time, you're not doing it right, is what I
If you
think.
don't
You were
have
left out with good reason.
Listen, I need more haters. The one I had are beginning to love me.
You've spent some time around some women, haven't you?
Oh, I love them. But the key is that you're like, I'm afraid. I'm afraid that'll make somebody mad. This is your life. This is your business. What the heck are you afraid of? We sit there and we go, yeah, and we're guys, Eric and I are sitting here going, what is the dilemma with the details? Right? I mean, I'm sitting and he's going, I'm here because of Jena, and this is interesting. This is like watching a
No,
comedy
he's here
show.
because I just made him $80 a month for the next 12 months. You don't have to work for it.
So I say this with love, honor, and respect. It's hard to hear my heart because you're too worried about you want to be right. My mentor said, you're right, I'm rich, let's move on.
No,
No, this was a mentor I had 20 years ago. But Noah would always say, here's a question Noah would say from his book, Secret Code to Success, Noah St. John. I was just with him on stage here this weekend. Ask, why are you so good at attracting your ideal avatar?
Oh, it's the reverse question like you teach.
Huh?
It's changing the question.
Change the question. Instead of saying, why do I need all of this PLR? Why am I so good at finding the best PLR? The brain looks for two things. Will it find it, or is it going to kill me? And you're worrying about what's going to kill your business.
The reticular activating system.
Yes, it deals with the hypothalamus and the limbic system. Here's the problem. The limbic system has no words. Everything I'm saying is turning into an electrical impulse in your brain. And it's turning into an electrical impulse in your brain, and it's causing the body to feel chemicals and produce chemicals. When we say PLR, your amygdala fires off. And it shuts down your prefrontal cortex, which makes everybody in the room sound stupid. You're asking questions, we're going, that's a dumb question, but we can't as speakers because we love you. We're not going to call you out in front of the room and go, that's an idiotic thing to say.
I actually did that in high school.
Well,
Somebody asked me how to draw a box in Corel Draw, and I would just look at them like they were stupid as a freshman and they were a senior. And my poor teacher walked over me. She was like, Jenna, you can't do that. Not everyone else has figured it out.
because when you stay in your heart, when your heart shows up, tell me the last time you were in your heart language that you needed a script. When you were on frickin' fire and you needed a script. Tell me that. Tell me when the last time you were sitting across the table from somebody and something poured into your head and they went, you have no idea how important this was that we sat down with you today. You're like, oh, well, I'm glad script 304 worked. Let's make that a winner. It's when you can be in your heart. The challenge is you're trying to take all of this and say, that's not my heart. It's not. Put your heart in it.
But it's the idea.
It is. We get writer's block.
Terribly.
Oh, and this is for $5. Trust me, that my Evernote's going to be full.
What you don't know.
Love you guys.
What you don't know about this too is the people writing them knew what they were writing. They've done the research for you that says this is what people are typing into Google. And even though this is not search engine optimization friendly because it is not original, someone else is using it. It is the question your clients are asking, and especially if you've not done extensive research with your clients, if you've not copied down the research, they've done a lot of it for you. You get to You've skipped all the heartache. You skipped the 4 a.m. writing it from custom scratch. That one I had to write. It was how I do my own marketing strategy. And no one else does it like me. Literally no one else on the planet. But I can promise you there were parts that I Googled for tidbits to get started. So I was like, how do you explain this to a bunch of morons who don't
Know how to make a box and
I was going from Sean. He's like, we don't call you out. I like to tell everybody there's no stupid question. There's just a thing that I have not answered yet.
Stupid people.
Whole other thing. So I don't want to keep y'all forever, but I will say, since Sean did so, he takes the heart part of it, right? I'm all the fancy, not crock brain. What's the other one?
Right.
I'm the executive brain over here saying this is the logical thing that you should do. He's giving you the heartfelt story behind it. Are there questions? Because there is not a less expensive way on the planet, even if you are hiring some VA out of the Philippines to write it yourself, to get a great, well-researched, well-keyworded article that a client for your business wants and needs to edit for your blog, your LinkedIn, your social media messages, and to send out, to help you send out a weekly email, Dagmar.
Yes, I will. It's on camera.
So here's what I'm going to offer.
Oh.
So here's what I'm going to offer.
Everybody else?
Tell me about the summer package that's already started, but tell me about the summer package.
So the summer package was originally edited for college-bound students
Right?
who could not afford college.
Okay.
So one of the things that we added was all the digital marketing certifications. None of the college students took me up on it. It was all business owners. But
Yeah, baby.
what that did was give the business owners the strategy behind the marketing. They have the 90 days to go through everything mindset. We'll talk about that when we're done.
Okay.
All of the goal setting, all the vision setting, and then step by step how to build absolutely every single thing they need in their business
Okay.
to have it fully launched, not even 90 days, but midway through. And in addition to that, we were building out the site in Kartra if they used our affiliate.
Okay. So for those of you that are thinking about, even if I put this program in place, I spend, it's how much? There's like this.
1997.
$19.97. that's like the greatest deal ever because I've spent hundreds of thousands of
I
dollars.
spent $59.97 just on the certs.
Right. So here's the point. And you don't know this, and you said we're going to talk about mindset, but I want to offer this because here's the thing. Your secret sauce is waiting to get out there. What I just saw sitting in here today, what I'm sure you're sitting there going, wow, this is pretty cool. I need to get this done. But the thing that's scaring the bejeebies out of everybody is how do you tell your story once you get it done? I'm going to throw in there an hour with anybody who's part of this program and help you teach your story. Why would I do that? I get nothing out of this.
No, I'll give them affiliate.
No. We won't even, but we'll donate it. But here's my point. The reason that I do this because I get nothing out of this is because my mission is to be a better dad, better husband, and I do that by putting more smiles in the world. And if you get off your ass and start telling your story, we can put more smiles in the world. And my dad said, if that makes sense, it makes dollars.
The law of circulation.
It all comes back. I stood on stage 4 days this week and my inbox is filled up and I never told, they barely know who my name is. They confused me with the other speaker. But they found me because of the shirts.
And the shoes.
And the shoes.
Thank goodness.
I was doing costume changes between every speaker. People were like, where the hell is all of his clothes? They were in the dressing, in the green room. So all I'm saying is yes, I get very passionate about that. Your story needs to be told. Your story needs to be heard. If you sit at night and wonder and do this kind of search and you buy stuff, it's because you know your story's valuable. It's time to get it out there. It's time for you to stand up and say, this is what I believe in. And when you do that, you will have exactly every system that's in place necessary for you to attract like-minded individuals. And when you do that, you need to have the way to say, hello. And that's what I want to help with. You'll have the emails. How do you put a little more heart in there? That's what I'll help you with. Your story will change the world. It's time for the world to get to know you.
Amen.
I think everyone in here can agree, just another clap for Sean, that they just want Sean to follow them around.
Sean's rocking it. Hire.
Yes, I am.
But he is true. What he's saying is absolutely true. And once you start getting used to writing the emails and how to write a basic story and you get over yourself and the concept of being a little vulnerable to your audience, telling you your real story. I think Virginia Beaver's probably in this room the best at it. She's meek about it. She's not very loud about it, but she tells a very vulnerable story on a regular basis. If you tell the most vulnerable story you have first, I promise you the rest are easier. This helps. Any other questions? Yeah, I'm going to sign off with that.